Hi booktube, it's Gina. Happy Tuesday. I'm very excited to actually be recording a tag video on Tuesday, and I was tagged last week. So I'm right on schedule. This is a really fun tag. It is the Wishful Thinking Tag by Mason in the Dark, and I was tagged by Kim at the Paper Traveler. I love Kim's channel. If you have not checked her out, I would definitely recommend it. She has what I think may be the most beautiful books ever. Every edition of every book she holds up is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love her library. It's beautiful, and she is a really fun channel. So definitely check her out. So this is the Wishful Thinking Tag, and I will, of course, link Mason and Kim down below so you can check out their channels. Let's just jump right in. Question number 1, legacy. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my computer here because I need a little table. How do you guys do it? I need a little setup on my tripod where I can put my computer underneath it. That's actually a really good idea. But anyway, question 1, legacy. Is there an author you wish was still alive today to witness the impact of their work? And I have to say, now I have not read this book, but I want to read it. This is A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. And I've just heard nothing but wonderful things about this book. And the reason that it's, I think, such a sad story is that it was published posthumously after the author had committed suicide. So he never saw what great things this book accomplished. It won the Pulitzer Prize. And it gets rave reviews, and every time I look at this book, it just makes me a little melancholy that he never realized how much people loved this book. So I do want to read this eventually. Prompt number 2 is the memory wipe. Which book or series do you wish you could forget, either so you could experience it again for the first time or forget it completely? And you're going to get sick of listening to me rave about The Lord of the Rings, but I read this when I was 10 or 11 years old, and it has been part of my DNA for my whole life. So what is that? Oh my gosh, 44 years, which I'm so grateful for. It was wonderful. It kicked off my love of reading fantasy series. And I recently saw Elle at Elle Thinks, whose channel I'll also link down below. She read this book, the trilogy, for the first time as an adult, and it made me so sad that I could never read this for the first time. I would love to forget it and read it for the first time as an adult, because wow. And I loved her video because she loved it too. And I love it when someone else, of course, loves these books because they've been so important to me. But wouldn't it be fun to read them for the first time as an adult? I would love that. Question number 3 is destiny. Which character do you wish had a different fate? I've got actually... So for a book on this one, I'm going to go with the Anthony Trollope, The Last Chronicle of Barset. And I'm not going to say who it is because it's a relationship in that story that has a rather not, it's an ambiguous ending. And I was feeling very romantic after reading that book. I just wanted there to be a happily ever after ending with this particular couple. And there wasn't, and that made me a little bit sad. But it was good. It was a good ending for the book. So there are 2 TV shows, though. This is a little off topic for books, but I have to say there are 2 TV shows that the endings made me crazy. And the first one is Friends. I hated that Friends ending where Rachel gives up her dream job, pretty much everything, and ends up with Ross, who's the most terrible boyfriend to ever let her do that. I was very annoyed by that ending. And secondly, Downton Abbey, and clearly I don't mind spoiling TV shows because they're old and they're TV shows. But Downton Abbey, I always thought Lady Mary should end up being an old spinster. She was such a cranky curmudgeon towards the end of that series, and I thought it would have been so great if she just ended up single. I felt like marrying her off was sort of a quick, rather haphazard, we need to have a happily ever after ending. It just didn't seem to fit for me. I would have loved to see her end up being an old spinster. So those are my two annoying TV show endings. Prompt number 4, namesake. If a character was going to be named after you, what kind of person would you wish for them to be? And what sort of story would you want them to be in? I would love to be a villain. I want my character to be named after me, to be a villain, to be in, let's go with something trashy, because I'm thinking a lot recently about Garbageist, where there's going to be some reading of garbage. And so, wouldn't it be fun to be a villain in a really trashy story? That's what I'm going to go for. Prompt number 5, collectibles. Which fictional object do you wish you could own? Okay, so for this one, I'm also going a little bit... okay, so you'll understand where I'm going with this. I'm going to go with the house. I want to own somebody's house. It's not an object. It's a whole house of Alexa Aird. Because listen to this description. Alexa's kitchen was predictable, not modern at all, but quite homely and haphazard, as though it had not been planned but simply come together over the years. It had a stone-tiled floor with a rush mat or 2 and pine cupboards, a deep clay sink faced out over the window, and a little area with its steps leading up to the street. The sink was backed with blue and white Dutch tiles, and the same tiles lined the walls between the cupboards. The tools of her trade were very evident: a thick chopping board, a line of copper saucepans, a marble slab for rolling pastry. There were racks of herbs and bunches of onions and fresh parsley in a mug. I want to live in that house. And, honestly, I sort of do. I have a very, very cozy very cozy, comfortable house, I have to say. And prompt number 6 is the reset button. Which book or series do you wish were written by a different author? And I cannot think of anything for this one. I'm gonna pass on that last one. I just can't think of anything because I'm not that creative, and I think the books that I love can never be written by anybody else. They can only be written by that person. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you had a great Tuesday. I had a great Tuesday. It's almost the end of my workday, so I'm taking a little break right now to record this. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Talk to you next time. Bye.